Okay, topics in protection. So now, I'm sure you love this one.
Ugh,
Fire as a protective force.
the picture itself stresses me out.
I bet it does. It makes me happy. Like I love it. I like want to be there. It makes me so happy.
Oh God.
Of course, because I'm like a fire sign and she's like not.
I'm like purely water.
Exactly. She has so much water in her chart.
Oh
So
God.
it's always been like a source of humor for us. So, although my rising sign is water, so
That's true.
why we meet in this lovely little place. So this is also our idea with tarot and the swords. So this like fire as a purifier, like it burns away dross, like it fire like burns away that which like shouldn't be there. It like leaves this like metal that's like strong and like a boundary protector, all that stuff. So that's what I just said.
Mhm.
Fire burns away what doesn't belong. It reveals truth. So then we're gonna go. The Greek and Romans burned incense offerings, and the Celts they did bonfire rituals. Like as this is as purification. So it's Samhain and Beltane, and Jewish tradition they have a havdalah candle that marks sacred separation and protection at transitions. So I'm going to give you a couple like examples of some traditions that use fire in specific ways. Zoroastrians have like the sacred fire, Atar, that represents purity, truth, and warding of evil spirits. So also fire can be a boundary marker. So I love this picture. This is of Japanese like funeral
Yeah.
candles that are lit. So fire draws a bright line. Just like when you see the swords in tarot, it cuts a bright line. Okay, it establishes sacred territory. So like in medieval Europe, and we even see it today sometimes. There's like in like I remember it wasn't my political party, but
Mhm.
like some march with the other political party and they were carrying freaking torches.
Oh God.
Okay, so it's like a boundary marker. It's like a protective thing for them to be carrying torches. It's like a saying, "Oh, we're the in group, you're not of our group." It's kind of like a part of that whole boundary marker thing.
Mm.
But there's also, and we're going to talk more about these, is like hearth guardianship. So we're going to talk about like, there's many times where the hearth is part of the protection of the home, and where even like some spiritual entities are said to reside in the hearth of the home, which is where fire is burned. So we're going to talk more about that later on. But like household fires were often kept burning like all the time to keep spirits or illnesses away, like keep the home fires burning.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who partake in like Mexican cultures, they leave a candle lit while they're sleeping.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, to for protection.
yeah. It can be a boundary marker of like, yeah, protective lanterns. So these are them used in Japanese folklore. They deter the yokai, and they also bring the spirits to the ancestors to the spirit world. So they are said to do both. They like they are boundary marker between our world and the next world. So fire can also be looked at as a transforming force. Okay, it changes things. So when you burn herbs, a lot of times it's not just for the smoke, but you transform their essence into something protective. Okay, so when you burn it, you're creating this protection and you're transforming it. Um, Also, we often burn like petitions or protective sigils are burned to seal them. So, and I don't know if I said this in here, maybe I did. If I get to the end, remind me about that ritual that I'm going to do at that I sent to you that I'm going to do at the solstice.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So alchemical fires symbolizing calcination. Okay, so that's burning away impurities to gain spiritual resilience. So that's one way of transforming. So also fire can be used as a watcher or a sentinel. And maybe that's like in Mexican culture more what it's used for. It's a
Mm,
watcher or a sentinel. So fire can guard you and keep watch and see, like look out when you cannot, like when you're sleeping, perhaps.
mm,
Or like also vigil candles are an example of
oh,
lit for the protection of loved ones. Like especially when we see that all the time, like when they can't find somebody or like they're worried that they're dead. They sometimes you light a vigil candle to protect your loved ones. So, um, and it's lararia. These are household altar flames, and they were where offerings were made to spirits that protected the pantry and the kitchen. Okay, so
mm,
if they made these altars, and the spirits that protected the pantry and kitchen were called panes and penates. And so the hearth and the home were called lares, parentes, and manes. So, and they had like these household altar flames. Often they were in the hearth that they would burn so that these spirits could watch over their home. And we're going to talk much more about that. So also like in temples, oil lamps were left burning in temples as warding lights. So that's another example. So now finally, fire connects us with our community. And we've talked a lot about community building and purity and protection and in groups and protection rituals. And so fire is something that connects us to our community. So it connects like an individual to a larger whole. Like when we have bonfires at liminal times, like solstices, equinox, at New Year's. Okay. There's also a tradition in Europe, in parts of Europe, of what at a baby blessing or an infant blessing that the community gathers and they actually pass infants over or near a gentle flame to like
mm,
protect them and bless them. Also, there's this idea of like when a group or a home moves from one home to the next home, they would carry embers from a sacred flame to a new home as protection. So that's fire. And I we got to the end of this and I didn't note the ritual that I'm doing, but it's kind of more like in the line of sending something into the universe with fire, as like it's almost like protecting that. um so let me explain the ritual. So from now until and I got this from do you know remember what her name was on the what that there's an internet a gal on Instagram that I got this from. Let me see if
oh,
what is her name?
she's Irish, I
Yeah,
think, or Scottish. She's Scottish.
so I can give credit where credit is due. Let me just see if I can find, because my ex-mother-in-law, I should say, but she's still my good friend, sent it to me.
The Glasgow Witch.
The Glasgow Witch. Okay, perfect. So from now until the solstice, you take 13 things that you want to manifest in the new year and you write about them like in manifesting language, like you already have them, and you describe them in as much detail as you want. And then right before the solstice, I've added a couple things. You read them out loud to yourself, and you could even have like a ritual. And I feel like it's almost like a protection ritual in the new year. It's like protecting your new year for you so that you have what is you want and you manifest what you want in the new year instead of having like whatever happens, happens, which I'm good at. So I want to manifest my new year, right? So, so you write about it and then you read it out loud, like right on the solstice. And from the solstice until the new year, you burn one of these a piece. And I feel like it's you're releasing it to the universe so that the universe takes that and protects that manifestation and brings it about in their own protective, beautiful way. The universe works on that. And then the last one that you have left at the end, you open and you read on New Year's. After you burned your last one on New Year's Day, you open it and you read the one that's left, the 13th one, and that's yours to work on throughout the year. So
Hmm.
I'm doing that right now. And it's
Are you purposefully picking which one you're burning, or you
no,
like
no, you
you
fold them
chance it?
up.
Oh,
No,
okay,
you
okay.
fold them up. So, like,
Yeah.
after you read them at the solstice, you fold
Yeah.
them all up and then you just randomly pick one every day to
Gotcha.
burn. So you
Okay.
don't know what is going to be the one left over.
Mm, nice.
Oh, wow. Really nice. So it has an element of protection to it, too.